Well, hello, welcome to the Cruise Diary from Southampton, and she's coming home. That's the Queen Elizabeth arriving in her home port of Southampton. She's going to be alongside here until Monday, when she's going to be named by the Queen. Now, in a moment, I'm going to go and talk to Peter Shanks, who's the president of the Cunard line. But before we do that, and while they're bringing the ship in, let's just pull you up to date with a bit of cruise news. And I'll start off with Lord Stirling. He's the boss of Swan Hellenic, and he's actually got himself into the news this week because he was visiting the port of Portsmouth just along the way here, because they're building a new cruise terminal, and that's where his company's ships, the Minerva from Swan Hellenic, the Voyages of Discovery ship, the Discovery, and the Hebridean Princess, they're going to be based there next year. They're building this new cruise terminal, and Lord Stirling suddenly realised that they'll be sharing the terminal with people using the ferries, and he said cruise passengers don't want to share the terminal with sweaty BOE shirtless lorry drivers. Well, he could have expressed it a bit better, but he's kind of got a point, hasn't he, when you're setting off on a holiday. Anyway, I think Portsmouth have taken it to heart, because they're now talking about actually putting in a proper lounge for cruise passengers, which will be quite nice. Although he's got 3 ships there, they're only going to be calling there 40 times throughout the whole year, so the ferry passengers are still the big business for Portsmouth. Now, Lord Stirling, he actually put his name to the first ever sort of extra charge restaurant, I think, on cruise ships. It's Stirling's Steakhouse on Princess cruises. And the Queen Elizabeth, doesn't she look brilliant? She's going to have an extra charge restaurant as well, called the Veranda. But the story I'm going to tell you about is this. Royal Caribbean, they introduced extra charges for items in the main dining rooms about 2 years ago for sort of the top steaks and things like that. Now, Carnival, their big rivals, absolutely went crazy about this, and John Heald, their blogger, he would always refer to their ships as the "why would you pay extra for a steak when you don't have to pay on Carnival" of the seas. Well, actually things have now changed. Carnival are now trying out extra charges for certain items on the menu in the dining rooms on just 3 of their ships. It's the, what is it? It's the Carnival Triumph, the Paradise and the Sensation. They're using these ships because those ships don't have the extra charge steakhouse, so it's giving the passengers a chance to enjoy the real top USDA prime beef and lobster in the main restaurant. It's $18, and you've got a choice of a 9-ounce filet mignon, a broiled Maine lobster tail, sort of a half a lobster tail and a petite filet mignon, or an 18-ounce grilled prime rib chop. Now, it's not compulsory. If you don't fancy paying the extra, you don't. You just eat the fine food, and the food is good. On all the cruise ships, the food's brilliant. Now, while she's coming in, let me just rattle through some more cruise news for you. The Island Escape, that's a world apart from that, but lovely ship. She's going into dry dock. They're extending the dry dock. They've cancelled a couple of cruises towards the end of November. I've got a mate, actually, Phil. He was booked on it. They've transferred him to the Thompson Destiny. That used to be the Sunbird, and it's one of my favourite ships ever. So he's going to have a great time, and they're really going to spend a lot of money on the Escape, bringing her up to scratch. 2 other things to talk about before we go and talk to Shanksy. Royal Caribbean, you know, they've got the musical Chicago on Allure of the Seas, which is the next ship after this to be launched, and they've got Hairspray on Oasis of the Seas. Well, they've announced another show. We knew the one was coming. It's going to be on Liberty of the Seas, and they're going to be putting on Saturday Night Fever, the musical. Sounds great, doesn't it? Entertainment. It's just changing all over the place. But one bit of economic news for you. All this business that's going on at the moment about child benefit and things like that. In California, people on benefits, they get given, it's like a hole in the wall card, and their benefits are on that, so they can just get their money out of the wall. They've been doing a survey. They've found out that quite a lot of this money is being spent in Las Vegas and on cruise ships. So the politicians have gone mad. The governor, Arnie Schwarzenegger, he's now banned these benefits cards from being used in casinos and on cruise ships. Actually, I can understand the point about Vegas, but frankly, if these people want to go on a holiday, then a cruise is the best option, because it's the best value. Anyway, that's enough news. Let's just watch the ship come in, and I'm going to try and catch Shanksy, so I'll see you in a minute.
What a beautiful sight she is. And the fireboats leading the way. 2,092 passengers. Maiden voyage on Tuesday. Sold out in 29 minutes and 14 seconds. One of those helicopters is filming it. The other one is for the police. Lots of media interest in this, a major event for Southampton. a major event for British cruising. Third ship of the year that's actually dedicated to the British cruising market. Earlier this year we had the Azura from P&O, and then the Celebrity Eclipse, and now the Queen Elizabeth. Here they are putting the lines out to tie her up. The port's at a very high state of security in readiness for the Queen's visit on Monday. There were police checking things, even like the escalators. They had all the steps up on that today, and there were dogs sniffing around. It's a major event, obviously, and a major operation. Now I'll keep on showing you these pictures for a bit because Peter Shanks is running late. As you can imagine, he's having a very busy day. They've actually got a rehearsal for the naming ceremony this afternoon. Look at that, Cunard's red funnel, right where it belongs in Southampton. What a great sight. The wait is over. She's here. Can't wait to get on this ship on Monday and show you the insides. That's the amphitheatre where the naming ceremony will be taking place.
It doesn't look like I'm going to get to see Peter Shanks, but obviously it's a busy day for them. The ship's just arrived, there are people going on board. There's a big event tonight, 1,000 people from Carnival Corporation going on board for dinner to really give the dining rooms a tryout. A couple of days of VIP passengers and travel agents, things like that, and then the naming ceremony on Monday. So I guess we'll leave it until then and tune back in on Tuesday for the naming ceremony by Her Majesty the Queen and a look around the ship. Until then, bye for now.